What is up, everybody? It is KB or One Bart here, and we're back with that game that's a little outside of what we normally do. But yeah, F1 career mode, my team mode, episode 3, race number 2. We're sitting here on qualifying for the second race of the season at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Practice was a bit weird, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. We cleared about half of the stuff. Got a couple perfects, passed a couple other ones, but for the qualifying strategy and the race strategy, I think along with the ERS, we struggled. We struggled a lot. We weren't able to pass those ones. The car feels like a tank, man. I don't know how else to describe it. But let's go ahead and go out for our first qualifying lap. If you missed the first episode, go check it out. It is up on the YouTubes. We got that channel, or not channel, that playlist over there for you guys. But yeah, episode 1, or I guess episode 2 technically, with the race. It was a bit interesting. If you don't want any spoilers, tune away now. But if not, we crashed out, guys. So that was pretty rough to handle. We're gonna try to bounce back and at least finish the race in this one. A couple people were asking why when I spun out with just a couple laps to go, why didn't I, come in, fix the front wing, finish the race? Well, at that point, everyone had passed us. We were a lap down, and you guys saw how long it took to change the front wing the first time. There's no chance, especially with that 3-second time penalty, even if there was like a safety car or something, that we were going to pass anyone and build up a big enough of a gap. So we were going to finish in 21st place no matter what. There's nothing we could have done to avoid that. So it was just smart for the team, and resource wise, we're going really wide in this corner, not to put any extra wear or tear on the engine. We don't get very many engine components throughout the year. We have to take grid penalties whenever we add on to those. So it just made sense to retire the car. But back to this race, this qualifying, it has not been that great of a lap. We are running super wide on some of these corners. Like I said, we're running extremely low downforce, so it makes cornering a little hard, but man, this car feels like a tank. So our first lap out, it is a 1:30.057. We'll go ahead and return to the garage. We'll slap some new tires on and see what happens. We're going to see if we can get out of Q1 this time. Last time we completely bottled it and messed that up. So let's go ahead and throw on a second set of softs and
our fastest lap is
see where we're at.
30.0.
We're going to bump up the time to just a couple minutes left in the session. We're going way down. We are pretty slow. Out of the 22 cars that have run, we are 19th, looking just like we did on the first practice, or first qualifying run. All right, a couple minutes left in the session. Let's go ahead and get back out there. Let's see if we can set a better lap. Maybe sneak into qualifying too. Listen to that Honda purr. You gotta love it, right? Alright, so right now we are in 19th. Our teammate Matsushita is sitting in 17th. He actually had a pretty strong race. I think he came home in 15th. Surprised us quite a bit. So let's go out here. 30 seconds left in the session. We're going to be one of the last cars to cross the line to take our lap. And hopefully we can improve. Ooh, we're going to dive in a little too deep into turn 1. We're going to lose a little bit of time, but not a whole heck of a lot compared to our first run. I really wish we could have improved upon that corner. Come in. Alright, looking pretty good. We're about a 10th up right now. Oh, we're losing it. We're losing it. Alright, I just want to sneak out of qualifying 1, but it's not looking like it. This corner is super tricky. It's been one of my hardest corners since I started playing the F1 games. really easy to overdrive that turn. Down this backstretch here, we're still about a tenth up on where we were. Try not to push out. Man, the car just carries so much through there. Does not want to stick at all. Catch a bit of the rumble strip. Alright. Only about a tenth up. We are gaining some time. I don't think it's going to be enough to get us out of Q1 though, unfortunately. Come into the final corner. Dive down. Get back on the gas. And it is going to be like a 500th improvement. So, unfortunately, we are not going to get out of Q1. It is P19 for us. Heck of the grid. P20. Someone else put in a faster lap, apparently. I thought we were the last one out. But, let's see. Our teammate snuck into Q2. So, our teammate is definitely outperforming us. And it's P20 for us. So, we are going to have a long way to go come race day. And you know what? That's what it is. We're a back market team. I'm pretty new at this. You guys know that if you watched that first episode. But let's see what we can do. You know, if we don't crash and we don't get any front wing damage, I'd say that's a win in our book.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. And thanks for joining us, Ant. And tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Alexander Albon, and Ricciardo, Sainz, Ocon, Stroll, and Sergio Perez, Leclerc, Norris, Pierre Gasly, and Raikkonen, Kvyat, Matsushita, Kevin Magnussen, and Roman Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Russell, Latifi, and the Rainmaster. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Okay, well, if you saw it there, we had a 192 place grid penalty. I decided since we qualified in the back anyways, might as well take on those new components. And yeah, that way if we're competitive later in the year, we're not having to take grid penalties. So, looks like we're going to try to go with a one-stop medium to the hards, pitting around lap 13, it seems. A lot of the other drivers might have to make a two-stop depending on how well their tire management is. We're going to try to go with the one-stop, see if we can sneak in a couple places. And I want to try to shoot for a top 15. I don't think we're going to finish in the points, but if we get a top 15, that would be quite awesome in my opinion. Lights out and away we go. Not a bad start, I guess. Definitely not as good as our start was last weekend. They are running super wide down here. We're going to go way up the middle. Grosjean is just taking everyone out. There's some cars with some wing damage. We're getting forced off into the grass. There is just so many people hitting each other. Apparently I made contact with Kvyat. I didn't really think we forced the issue there, but everyone else was running like crazy. We're heavy on the brakes. Massive lockups. People are driving like crazy. We got our teammate to our outside. If you watched episode 2, we made contact with him. Wasn't too serious. But yeah. Alright, up into P19. 3 spots gained off the start of the race. Let's see if we can tuck in behind
First lap. Keep it up.
the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi, stay behind him, share his slipstream, just stay close, see if we can stay in range of that DRS for when lap 3 goes around. We are actually right on his back bumper. That Alfa Romeo has great straight line speed. We are nowhere near that yet, but if we can just keep him within a second by the time lap 3 rolls around, I think we'll be in good shape. Thought about going for a dive there, but I'm trying to be smarter in this one. I was rewatching last episode, and it was just a lot of mental errors and just not paying attention. You know, whether it was the first time we got wing damage, just pushing way too hard coming out of the corner, or even, you know, the second time, I just complete mental lapse. I honestly have no idea what happened. You see cars pitting up there. I think that is, who is that? That's Sergio Perez. He might have gotten some damage as well off of that start. That start was absolutely insane. A lot of people, I think there might be some people behind us too happen to pit as well. But yeah, and then back to the last episode, like I was saying, just that spin into the wall, that was just, you know, pushing hard. I was trying to keep that gap above 3 seconds because of that time penalty. So as long as I just race smarter, I think we'll be able to finish the race in one piece. Maybe pick off a couple of lucky positions here and there. But lap 2, this car, man, it is so heavy. We're going to have to do a lot of work to the chassis and aero department. The power will come in time. I honestly think if we can get the car handling better out of the turns, we'll be able to surprise some people with our speed. We're about a midline. When we were looking at the R&D departments, we're about middle of the pack when it comes to our speed. But I honestly just think with how heavy this car is, how much it struggles to take corners. You know, granted, we are running lower downforce, but still, we should be better than this. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap. This is lap 2, so that makes sense. Don't know why I was surprised. Alright, DRS should be enabled this lap. Giovinazzi is unfortunately right outside of that 1 second range. So let's see if we can make up some time, dive deep down into the brakes. That is one thing that we do have over AI is being able to brake a little bit later than them. Alright. Trying to keep them within 1 second. I don't think it's going to happen, man. This car is something else. But this is probably what it's going to be. You know, I know a couple other YouTubers out there are a lot better at this game, and they're winning races their first season. But we're going to do what we can, do our best to finish as many races as possible, maybe sneak a couple points here and there. And it may take us a while. Like I said, if you guys have ever played NASCAR Thunder 2004, that is a hard racing game. This is the hardest difficulty I have ever played on. And we're going to do a slow grind, you know. We're going to go from a car that is basically on par with Williams to hopefully at some point, you know, challenging, you know, the Mercedes and the Red Bulls and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so unfortunately it looks like they're going to be outside of DRS on the front stretch once again. We got it a couple times there on that back part of the lap, but not too much else there for us. Our teammate's sitting right behind us in P19. We just got the One Bar Racing boys hanging out in the back. Our teammate might honestly have better pace than us, and if he catches up to us, I might just let him go through, and we'll see if we can kind of follow him, get DRS off of him, and maybe drag us up towards this pack of cars, because we're close, but we're not close enough, unfortunately. We can kind of make up a little bit of time when they don't have DRS, but they just got that DRS train up there. We're also stuck in their dirty air, so that's not helping. Makes the car, you know, handle worse than it should be, even though it already handles like a tank. But so far, you know, 3 laps down, no damage. I'm pretty impressed. Our teammate's going to take a crazy dive up the inside. Goodness gracious. He scared me there. I had to go super wide, and we got an awful run out of the corner. Honestly, if that was someone besides our teammate, I might have just slammed the door on him and caused some damage. But man, Matsushita, that was a very ballsy move, buddy, and it just ruined my complete run out of all the corners. I tried to let him go and made things worse, and he's probably actually going to be outside of a second as well, so we completely messed that up. No DRS for us from him either, even though that was our original plan. So I'll have to have a talk with him back in the garage, try to figure out what that ballsy ass move was, because he could have ended both of our races right there. And it looks like I saw some cars coming out of the garage, so it looks like the front runners have already made their pit stop and put on their next set of tires. I don't know what they're running. I don't know if they're on mediums or hards. Not sure. I don't think the hards can make it this far yet, so let's keep it going. See if I can maybe close the gap back up to my teammate, get within 1 second, now that we're not going to have him diving up the inside of us. Want to be careful and not get any track extending penalties, anything like that. We got a pretty good gap back to Latifi back in 20th, so I mean, P19 in position for our best career finish. Whoop whoop. So far, tire wear not looking too bad. This track is known to kind of eat up your tires if you're not careful, so we just struggle getting out of these corners. We lose so much time in this little section right here. I'm going to go ahead and throw it up in the rich, see if we can maybe close the gap just a little bit. Our teammate has DRS, so I highly doubt we're going to be able to gain much time, if any, on him. But we'll see if we can maybe close the gap just a little bit. You just see that time up there on the left go up and up and up as he's got the DRS and the slipstream of the car in front of him. Ooh, car got a little light on the back end there, coming out of that turn. And the chase continues. Ooh, pushing kind of wide there. We are 2.5 tenths up on our best sector time. We went so wide there. I'm super surprised we didn't get a track extend warning there. The gap to our teammate down to 1.3, so we are gaining just a little bit, but it's probably going to go out the window here when he gets DRS. We're pulling away from Latifi, so that's good at least. I will take what I can get. Trying to get a better run than we normally do.
We advise moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and run this in rich mode for a while. I feel like you can save a decent amount of gas here if you're careful coasting through some of these long turns. So I want to get back up into this group of cars up here. We almost got that gap down to a second. I feel like maybe give it another lap or two running in rich. Running good. Overall consistent laps. We improved 4 tenths on our personal best, so we're running better than we were. So if we can just be careful, we just stay on what we're good at doing, I feel like we can maybe catch up to our teammate, maybe get DRS. It's just so hard while he's got DRS getting pulled along by those guys up there. Much better run than we got last time through this corner. My gap's down to 1.2 seconds, but not close enough. Just outside of that DRS range. So close, so close. Come on. That's you to drag the brake a little bit for me. What'd you say? Help your boss out. Oh, man. We are so close. I think we'll have it next lap. Alright, long gap to Latifi. We got some more guys making pit stops. And we're going to have to deal with a lot of faster cars in the middle of traffic. This can get a little dangerous, but we don't want to get too caught up racing them because we're just going to slow them down, slow us down, getting in the middle of a race. These are not the guys we're racing. But with them coming out, it kind of blocked this little group up here in front of us. So I think we're going to be able to get into DRS range this coming sector. We are all over our teammates' back gearbox now.
The car behind has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tire.
All right, so they're running the medium, so they are definitely doing a two-stop race. So if we can just run our race, not really hold them up, but just do us, we might be able to sneak, a couple positions here. We're obviously not going to finish ahead of Verstappen, but try to keep our teammate within 1 second. Verstappen's coming around the outside, buddy. That's a really bad idea with me. This car cannot hug the corner. All right.
Be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tire grip around now.
Yeah, we'll probably be boxing, like I said, lap 13. At least we're going to have DRS for this front straightaway. Back in the gas. Here we go. We'll go ahead and put that back into standards since we have the DRS now. Verstappen's going to get a run. He's definitely going to get around us, I think. These guys are racing like crazy up here. We got Albon on our inside. We got to go super wide. And we're actually going to get a hit around him outside the pits. So he'll be back in front of us here in just a second. But all right, we're going to do the same move to our teammate that he did to us, and we're going to get the move back on him. Up into P11, it's not a legitimate P11, but I will take it. Probably the highest we're going to run in a long, long time. So, see if we can stay with Magnussen, get the DRS off of him. Car's starting to feel a little bit better, honestly, the more the tires wear. I don't know. I know that's a weird thing to say, but the longer the run goes on, the tires start to lose grip. I'm actually liking it. The car feels a little bit looser around the corners. I know that's such a NASCAR thing to say, but I like it. I don't like my cars feeling heavy, pushy. I'd rather be barely hanging on to it than it trying to drive me off into the wall. We still struggle in a couple of these high speed corners, but I will take what I can get. All right. We are close enough to Magnussen. We will once again have DRS coming down this front stretch. Let's see if we can maybe get close enough to do a dive. He's not going to have DRS on the car in front of him. We might be able to pull a move off. He's going to go defensive into turn 1, and we can't get the move done. I could have risked it there, but ooh, we're going to lose the back end. And our teammate makes contact with us, and that's very unfortunate. All right. Let's get a quick peek at that. Let's see what happened. I don't know exactly what I did there, but we lost it back in a little bit. I caught a little bit of that rumble strip. So I lose the back end just a little bit, kind of come back, and then he's going to kind of cut the corner and make contact with us. That's twice now that Matsushita has done something to put us in a bad position. So there goes all the time that we made back to back unfortunate weeks, I guess. At least this time we didn't get any damage, but we are so far away from the rest of everyone now. So at this point, I honestly don't know what to do. We're in P16, but the car's behind us have already pit, so we're super far off. We're basically running way back where Latifi and everything was, and our tires are pretty overheated now after that spin and have some extra damage to them, or not damage, wear. So I might go ahead and try to pull off an undercut and see if we can make up any time. I wouldn't be surprised if our teammate had front wing damage after making contact. Like, I know that I lost that back end, which is unfortunate, but let's go ahead and box. Technically 2 laps earlier than what we were planning on doing, but we're so far off. I gotta see if I can make up sometime. Oh, I think, yep, awesome. It just continues to get worse. Did not get slowed down in time. I tried, but that's just a massive error, honestly. One mistake leads to another, and
pit strategy complete.
I don't know what to do, if I'm being honest. And then I forgot to disengage the pit limiter. Man, I am just really out of it, I guess. That spin with our teammate. Definitely going to come up in his contract negotiations. So we are running P22 last on the grid. This weekend has gone from mediocre to bad pretty fast. We've got a 5-second time penalty that's going to be assessed to us at the end of the race. So just like how we had the corner cutting penalty last weekend, that was 3 seconds. We'll now have 5 seconds added onto our time. So now we just got to drive hard, drive fast, and hopefully we can get around some cars and make people pay. I'd say it would be nice to get a safety car, but at the same time, not really sure what that would benefit for us. Alright, so we're gonna have to save gas at some point, but no point right now. Like I said, it's pretty easy to save gas with some of these long turns. We can kind of just coast through them. So we're just gonna run and try to make up as much time as possible.
Ahead, but be aware that these tires need to last till the end of the race.
I think we know for sure that Ocon's gonna have to pit again. And then I don't think these guys on the medium tires have pit yet, so as long as they're within 20 seconds, it takes about 20 seconds to do a full Formula 1 pit stop from entering the pits to leaving it. So if we can keep them roughly within 20 seconds, we can pass a couple cars at least, and see if we can build up a little bit of a gap, since we now have that 5-second time penalty to deal with. So we're trying to gain on Russell, trying to get within range of that DRS. I don't think this is going to be the section to get it, but hopefully coming up to the start-finish line, we'll be close enough. And he is pulling away from us, so it's not looking too good, honestly. This is where we've struggled all week, and the car just pushes so hard out of this turn. Catching the rumble strip there. Got to be careful, because that thing will whip you around. We already saw what it did to our back end going into turn 1. Down about half a lap of full, so we'll have to be careful. Probably start saving around lap 20 if I had to guess. Get a little bit of information.
Russell is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 1.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 10 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:34.7.
Alright, so he's only got one more stop. I'm not sure about everyone in front of him, but let's just keep pushing. Honestly, the only thing we can do at this point. Oof. Going wide, man. This car, we're going to have to figure something out. Like I said, I know we're running a little bit of lower downforce, but we should still be able to turn a bit. This car is just so heavy, it refuses. You tell it to turn, and it's like, nope. I don't think so. We are driving a hunk of junk right now. We are making Williams look good. Alright, gap to Russell is 1.2 seconds. Let's try to keep trimming it down. We're actually running green sectors, so like I said, for whatever reason, when we put on hard tires, that's when my pace seems to improve, which is super weird to me, but I'll take what I can get, I guess. Alright, Russell's coming into the pits. We're going to jump these guys in the pits. Alright, and we're up to P20. Perez is only 3 seconds behind, though. He's going to have fresher tires, so he's probably going to gain on us because he has a better car in general. Grosjean's on front, running the hard, so he's definitely going to the end of the race. Latifi, I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know if the mediums will make it. He might have another stop ahead of him as well. But we are coming up on halfway through this race.
Hard tires, car behind, running hards.
Oh man, we completely overdrove that corner. I was on the brakes hard and the tires just kind of locked up there. We're gonna have to be careful. Like I said, we did pit a couple laps earlier than we were supposed to, so tire wear at the end of the race might be a factor. So we'll have to be careful, make sure we don't get a puncture or anything like that. It's the last thing we need. Our teammate is now in the pits. Not sure how much longer he's going to be our teammate, if I'm being honest. I'm a little annoyed with him after this week. I guess, you could probably play the blame game back and forth on that second incident, but, him dive bomb on us, putting us in rough shape, kind of forcing us out of the line was a little much.
And fuel settings, we won't have enough fuel for the end of the race. Consider lowering the fuel mix.
And we lost so much time. We were doing decent, I guess, but honestly, getting in that incident with him and spinning out, it just, you make mistakes when your head's not in it. And we sped on the pit road, and 5-second penalty, and it basically ruins any progress we're going to make the rest of the race here, even if people do have to make 2 stops, just because we're going to lose any time that we gained while they were in the pits. So it's honestly looking like it's probably going to be a P20 race for us. Latifi is about 10.5 seconds behind. Perez is definitely going to jump us with that penalty. So, yeah. It's going to be back-to-back very, very disappointing weeks. And it's hard to improve, honestly, when you're having such a disappointing time, because you're not getting the money or the resources you need to improve your car, to improve your team, to afford a better teammate, things like that. So we're running lean right now. We're saving gas, so we're going to be a little slow. What I'm hoping is that Perez will pass us here. Maybe we can stay on the back of him. He's going to get our slipstream and have DRS. My plan is, what I originally want to do with our teammates is see if he will get past us, and maybe we can stay up behind him, get DRS, and run some of these cars down in front of us, because that Racing Point's pretty fast. He was one of the cars caught up in that bottleneck of incidents at the start of the race. So if he can get around us, maybe, just maybe, we can use some DRS off of him and maybe run a couple of these cars down in front of us. It's still got a long ways to go. There's people that could retire. Safety cars could happen, stuff like that. We could still crash out. So, there's still plenty of time in this race for something to happen. Well, I'm going to go ahead and lift off, see if he can get around us. I'm trying to give him the straight here. I'm running lean. He should have all the means to get around us. We're going to tuck up in behind him and hopefully keep him within a second. I might have let him go way too early. I think that's the case. I think he's going to go just storming off. Oh, we both got a little tail happy coming out of that turn. He slid at the same spot that I did. Oh, I'm trying to keep him within a second. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, I think we were within a second. Yep, we were. Okay. All right, so we're going to have DRS. Hopefully it gets us back within a second of him. That Racing Point, basically last year's Mercedes, so they're going to have pretty good power. But I'm going to try to keep him within a second, see if we can run my teammate down. All right, we're going to have DRS again. That'll be nice. I think this is the first time we've had DRS through this sector. Only thing we have to contend with now is all that dirty air from Perez, so we might not be able to stay with him for too long, which is unfortunate because it looks like we are catching my teammate. Yep, he's already outside of that second range. That's very unfortunate. We just don't have the car yet, guys. I don't know. A little bit of car, a little bit of just don't have the talent. We'll get there. You know, it could be worse. We could be those Williams 11 seconds behind a guy that spun out. But what are you going to do, I guess? Ooh, that was a really bad run through the corner. Just overdriving the car at this point. It's just frustrating. You know you're not going to get finished in the points, but you know that wreck, I don't know who to blame it on or what to say, but teammates shouldn't race each other like that. That's all. I think I'm just going to leave it at that.
Ahead is 3.8 seconds.
All right, we've got just over 10 laps to go.
Our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
So, yeah, 10 laps to go. I think this is going to be
The car ahead is 2.0 seconds.
the majority of the end of our race. But I'm going to continue trucking along here, and I will see you guys if anything happens. Oh boy. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We are coming to 2 laps to go. We actually had a couple of retirements, so we are up to P18. We actually had the gap to our teammate down to about a second and a half, and then your boy goofed. He had a little bit of the rumble strip and
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
partially spun the car out. So we lost a lot of time. Russell made up some time as well, but he's still without, or outside of that 5-second gap. Still about 10 seconds behind, so we're safe there.
The gap to the car ahead is 10.0
We are just running,
seconds.
trying to finish this race. And honestly, our biggest concern right now, I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen or not,
Blue flag.
but we've got some tire wear issues we need to take care of. We're actually about to go a lap down, so this might help us. We're going to go ahead and let Bottas go. We are at 72%. And once that reaches over 70, there's a very high chance that your tire will puncture. So Bottas puts his lap down, so that will be honestly our last lap of the race. He is coming to finish it off and pick up another win for Mercedes. For us, it's going to be a disappointing P18. Looks like we could have gotten a top 15 there for for a second, but just too many mistakes. You know, the speeding penalty on pit road, the contact with our teammate. But at least we got to see some fireworks.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
All right, so Mercedes picks up another victory. Lewis Hamilton in P2. Seb gets P3. But like I said, for us, it was disappointing.
And
if it
now
wasn't
let's
for
take a look at the drivers' standings. More points for Valtteri Bottas.
Lance Stroll and Max Verstappen retiring, we would have probably finished P20.
Davidson, who do you pick?
Interesting choice today, I think. There's a few to pick from, but I think I have to give it to Danny Kvyat. He put in a rock-solid performance today, and one that he can be proud of.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So that one was a bit disappointing. We're gonna go back to the shop, see if we can get anything fixed on the car, and try to bounce back next race. You know, they say the third time's the charm, right? So it can't continue to get much worse from here. We did finish the race this time, but P18 definitely not what we were looking for. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I know I'm not the best, but you know, there's actually a couple people on the Twitter that wanted me to keep playing this. So shout out to all of you. This one was for you. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new, or if you want to see me play games, check out our Twitch. All the links for all that stuff will be in the description down below. And yeah, thank you again so much. I appreciate it. I do mean it. Each and every single one of you are awesome. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, guys, you know what I like to say. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and if you're not going to do that, don't get caught. Peace out, guys.